Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this 2021 Chevy Tahoe LS. And for those of y'all who don't know, the Chevy Tahoe has been around since 1995, ever since it took over the old Blazer platform. And since then, it's been a really popular vehicle. It's been like a bestseller in America, outselling its competition 2-1. So in the beginning, the Tahoe in the first generation used the Chevy small block 5.7 liter engine. And that engine, it only had about 200 horsepower, but it still had well over 300 pound-feet of torque. So that vehicle was very popular, and it set a standard in American SUV culture. So eventually the Tahoe ended up using the 5.3 Vortec engine, which was very popular, and it lasted for over 2 generations until they ended up switching their main engine to the new 5.3 Ecotec engine that we still have here. So that engine's been around for now 2 generations, and we're also going to be offered with a 6.2 Ecotec engine that's like straight out of the Camaro and Silverados. So here we have a pretty much base 2021 Chevy Tahoe LS, although we do have a couple options that we are going to see very shortly. So this Tahoe will also be offered with an additional new diesel engine. So that's going to be exciting to review. Hopefully I can get that for you guys. But anyway, so coming around front, you see very similar to your Suburban. This basically is just a short wheelbase Suburban. You get your bright orange Chevy bow tie wrapped in 2 strips of chrome. Very nice design right in front of your gloss black grille. And this is a very large grille, obviously, for a very large vehicle. Of course, it's nice that you get your parking sensors in the front. That is included with one of the options that this vehicle has. And you got your vent that doesn't really lead to anywhere. But coming up top, so you got these beautiful LED lights with daytime running strips on the outside, which these basically work as a fog light because this vehicle doesn't have fog lights, obviously. But let's continue around side. So this car's color is beige metallic, and it looks very good. It's probably not going to show dirt very well, so that's very nice for you guys who don't like to go to car washes. So let's come down here. So this is one of the options. This is a very expensive option. So for $3,000, you get these very nice black and chrome aluminum wheels. And so they are nice, but they are $3,000, which is really expensive when you're trying to get a bang for your buck luxury SUV or luxury family SUV. So these rims are wrapped in Bridgestone Alenza tires, which are 275/50 R22s, of course. And they do a pretty good job. They are pretty good compounds for all terrains. So on this dirt road over here, definitely no traction issues, and on the street, definitely no issues either. You get your signature Tahoe badge with your manual folding mirror with blind spot detectors. Great for a vehicle this size. And of course, you got your smart access doors, both for the driver and passenger. So you press the button, car locks, press the button, car opens right up. Same over here. Locked, well, unlocked. Bang. Okay, so you do get your running board. Great for a vehicle this size. It helps your passengers get in and out. Same dimensions on the tires and same rims running along back. So here you go. You got your push to open gas tank. Very nice. You don't have to go inside. And smart access fuel. Bang. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so coming alongside, you have a Chevrolet nameplate inside your taillight, which is very cool to have. And overall, these taillights are a good design, and they are really large too. Like, look, like so on a big vehicle like this, the taillights definitely match in size. So come around down, you still have your parking sensors, and like I said, for vehicles this size, parking sensors definitely help. So this is basically your rear end of your Tahoe. Unlike the Suburban, we have the tow plate off, so you can get really easy access to see what we got offered here. You got your electronics, you got your hitch, and spare tire underneath there. I can't tell if it's a full-size pair. I don't think so, and I definitely don't think that it's consistent with the rims that are on this car, but it's nice that you still have a spare tire, because a lot of times you don't get that anymore. Maybe you get a donut, but full-size spares are very rare. So of course on this side, everything stays basically the same. All right, so let's step into this 2021 Tahoe LS. So just like the Suburban, extremely high quality materials inside. Even for a base model, they are not cheapening out when it comes to giving you the best materials they possibly can. So you got leather wrapped door panel up top. You have soft touch materials all the way around surrounding your aluminum surrounded aluminum door handle with power unlock and lock buttons, and you have real wood trim over here wrapped in real aluminum with a very soft padded leather rest for your arm. So of course 2 automatic power windows with 2 just regular power windows. For your passengers, you do have 4-way adjustable mirrors. Coming down, now you start seeing some harder plastics. Here you have some storage with rubber grips in the bottom. It's great so your stuff's not flying around. And continuing down, you still have your carried over hard plastic materials with space for a possible drink next to your very large speaker and more hard plastic materials over here. But that's not a big deal since everything else on this door panel is just soft touch or leather wrapped. So they're really not cheapening out. So let's step inside of this Tahoe with the door open. You immediately see very nice leather wrapped stitched steering wheel, and it's pretty small in dimensions. So it does make the vehicle feel like it handles a little bit better than it really does. And it's nice that they give you a little spoke here, because I know a lot of people like to drive with their hand on their lap. So if you like to drive like that, the steering wheel is definitely accommodating for it. So you see your 10.2-inch display, very nice as a standard feature. But let's check out the window sticker. All right, so outside from your warranty information, this car does now have a smooth ride suspension. So by that, we now have an independent rear suspension in the back for the first time on a Tahoe in its entire existence, especially for the Suburban that's been around since like 1935. So for basically now almost 90 years, it's not had a independent rear suspension. So to finally have one now, it's very nice to have. So you also come standard with a mechanical limited slip differential. So you don't have a locking rear diff anymore. So before, with the solid rear axle, you would have a locking rear diff, which would allow you to not necessarily need four-wheel drive for this SUV, but you no longer get locking diffs. So the car is just coming with a mechanical limited slip differential. So for a two-wheel drive Tahoe like this, be careful in the snow, because you're not going to have the same capabilities as you would with your old two-wheel drive Tahoe with locking differentials. But regardless, let's carry over here. So again, you see all your standard features. Yes, you do have your 10.2-inch display with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You do have tri-zone automatic climate control. So look at the standard features when it comes to safety and security. This is where you're beating your competition. So you have automatic emergency braking, that's a standard feature. A forward collision alert, standard. You have HD rear vision camera, which comes standard at basically all vehicles today. But you also have front pedestrian braking, very nice feature to have in a 6,000-pound SUV like this. And you get your following distance indicator and of course your theft deterrent system. So over here, you see your optional features. So you got your 22-inch black gloss wheels with chrome accents, $3,000. That is a very expensive, partially unnecessary feature for a bang for your buck luxury SUV. But check this out. So for only $790, that also beats the competition when it comes to safety tech. You get rear cross traffic alert. That's great for pulling out of driveways when you're reversing or coming out of parking spots. You got lane keep assists with a lane departure warning and a lane change alert. So this vehicle will pull you back into your lane if you're starting to zone away, which is very nice to have when you're on long trips. And you also, of course, have your front and rear park assist with blind spot monitoring. So altogether, this vehicle does come to $54,000. You take away those rims, you're sitting around $51,000, which is relatively inexpensive when you're talking about full-size luxury 3-row SUVs. So let's put this sticker back to where it was and just check out basically what you get on your interior. So you got your push buttons for your drive, for your transmission. You no longer have your column shifter. You don't have a shifter over here, which saves space in the interior. So for park, you push, reverse, you pull, neutral push, drive, you pull, manual shift modes with a low gear. And you got some more wood trim wrapped in aluminum trim all the way around. You have a huge storage compartment. I can fit my whole hand in there. large screen, of course. You got your vents, you got your vent controls down here, you got your automatic climate, you have your fan adjustments, you got USB ports and power outlet. Cool. So you got your cup holders, of course. You got some more storage down here. So here you have your absolutely massive center console. So I'm gonna pull this out for you guys. Check this out. Like, you could fit a laptop computer in here. You could fit a 12-pack of sodas in here, you know. So we put this down real quick. Actually, before we put this down, and you do get 2 more USB jacks with an SD card too. All right, so let's check out these seats. I'm just going to show you the passenger seat since I'm already sitting here. So it's a cloth seat. You don't get standard leather. However, these seats are still very soft and pretty supportive. In the middle, very soft, and you do get power lumbar controls, so you can adjust the supportiveness to your liking in these seats. So that's very nice to have in a $50,000 full-size SUV. But all in all, I'm very happy with these seats. I've always kind of preferred cloth seats to a lot of leather seats. Obviously, there's some leather seats that are extremely comfortable, but for the most part, cloth seats are usually very soft compared to leather seats. So if a company's able to actually keep cloth seats supportive, I usually prefer them to leather seats. So as far as this vehicle not coming standard with leather seats, that's definitely not a minus in my opinion. That's basically it for the front. Let's carry off to the back. And again, also soft touch materials over here. All right, so back here, door panel's basically the same. You got leather touch, soft stitching on top with wood trim underneath wrapped around aluminum, and you got soft touch wrapping around your aluminum door handle, which also has aluminum trim on the outside, very high quality. You got your lock and unlock, you got your power mirror, soft leather padded elbow rest, a little bit of storage compartment, more storage compartments over here, and down here you got your large storage compartment wrapped in a big speaker. So here you go, no nameplates unfortunately, but these running boards are nice for children or smaller passengers. But let's step into the second row of the Tahoe. Move these floor mats out of the way. All right, so I'm 6 feet tall. Sorry. So as you can see, ton of leg space here. I can even, I believe, adjust this seat. No, I can't. No, I can. I actually have more space back. So this is absolutely unbelievable how much legroom I really have. So I'm 6 feet tall. I have like 6 inches of extra leg space. Very impressive back seat. So back here, you got your 2 cup holders with 2 more cup holders right here with a little bit of storage compartment there. So you got your 3rd zone climate control, you got your fan adjustments, you got your temperature adjustments, and you can have your auto mode. And you got another couple USB jacks there with a power outlet down there. Cool. All right, so that's basically it for the first 2 rows of the Tahoe LS. So let's check out the trunk. All right, so this vehicle does not have a power opening trunk, unfortunately, but it does have a rear windshield that opens still. So most vehicles haven't had this in a long time, but for people who don't want to have to lift their trunk every time to put their groceries in, if they have a dog in the back into the trunk and they don't want to let him out, you can easily just reach your arm in here and drop your stuff right there. So it makes it a lot more convenient for a lot of people. So it's nice that Chevrolet still offers that. Okay, so let's pop this open and check out how much trunk space this vehicle has. So here you have it. You have one 3rd row seat up, and you can basically get an idea of the 3rd row, of the trunk space. So with the 3rd row up, you are pretty limited on total space. I would honestly compare the space for the trunk capacity with the 3rd row up to the Ford Explorer. You're really not going to be getting much more space than that. And unfortunately, so like the Ford Explorer, how it has that like foot of an indent for you to put groceries in so they don't slide around while the 3rd row is up, this vehicle doesn't have that. Yes, you do have a small storage compartment here, but we're not talking about nearly the same practicality. So if you want to have your 3rd row up and really maximize trunk space, that's when you're gonna have to look at the Suburban. But anyway, let's step into the 3rd row and see how much space it is actually offered back there. All right, so stepping into the 3rd row of the 2021 Chevy Tahoe LS. All right, so relatively easy access because the seats come up. Okay, so let's put these down and see what we got. All right, so it's weird that automatically when you put the seats back up, It keeps them in the farthest up setting, which is convenient when there isn't anyone sitting there. But if there is someone sitting there, they might find it annoying that every time they have to re-recline. But anyway, even with the seats in their farthest back setting, I have plenty of legroom. I have at least 3-4 inches of leg space, which is very impressive. You really don't see a lot of vehicles in this segment with truly usable third rows. But there are 3 legitimate seats in this third row. So this vehicle will seat 8 people, no doubt about it. So in terms of family hauler, this vehicle does do that. However, if you do need a nice trunk space while using your third row, you should probably upgrade to the Suburban, which only costs like, I believe, $1,000 more, but does give you like an extra 30 feet of space, 30 cubic feet of space. But all in all, this is a very usable third row, and I'm very impressed with Chevrolet and how they continue to like be the top of the segment when it comes to just true space and keeping the price relatively low. But that's about it for the third row. Let's start her up and hear how she sounds. All right, so that was of course the sound of GM's 5.3 liter Ecotec V8 engine. So let's check it out. And of course, nice that we have struts. A lot of the competition doesn't offer it. But there you have it. You got your battery, you got your air filter, you got fluids, intake manifold up top. Very nice motor, very solid low end punch. You got about 355 horsepower and 385 pound-feet of torque. And not bad at all for a standard engine. So that's what you get. Nice 5.3 liter Ecotec V8. All right, so stepping in here while the car is on. So, just like the Suburban, you still get your digital speedometer, you got your tachometer, you got your analog speedometer. It's very nice. You got your voltometer, you got your gas gauge, you got your coolant temperature, and you got your oil temperature. Nice that they offer you that. A lot of vehicles don't do that anymore. But here's your 10.2 inch display. You got your Wi-Fi hotspot, you got your audio settings, you got your Apple CarPlay, which is wireless, same with Android Auto. Very nice. OnStar, you got your My Chevrolet apps, you got your camera for your rear. So coming down, you get your vents, you got your climate controls, you got your radio controls. So this is how you adjust your temperature, say you adjust your fan speed. You can leave it in auto mode, of course. So of course you still have your USBs. But yeah, so when the car is on, that's about what you get. So let's check out what you get in the back seat. Actually, before we go to the back seat, let's check these out. So these are your safety features. You got your auto start stop. Here you got your drive mode select. So you can see up here, see how we are in tow haul mode. You can go to normal mode, sport mode, snow and ice. But let's just keep it in normal for now. And down there you have your lighting controls. So no, you don't have fog lights anymore. They took that feature away. The daytime running lights basically do that for you now. But so I guess we're ready to go check out the back seat. Again, these running boards are very convenient in a large SUV like this. But anyway, so here you have it. You got your third zone climate. So you got your fan controls. If you turn all the way to the left, it turns it off. But this activates it. You got your temperature controls, and you got your auto fan. But let's leave it off in the meantime. And just like the Explorer and the Suburban, of course, you get your vents basically blowing right in your face. You're not going to have the vents on your console. All right, so that's about it with this 2021 Chevy Tahoe LS. Just before we take it for a drive, how about we take a look at this new independent rear suspension with a mechanical limited slip differential. So there you have it. That's never been a sight seen on a Tahoe before. So that's about all you get. There you see your spare tire and muffler farther down in there. But that's basically it. All right, so now that we've seen just about everything there is to see with the 2021 Chevy Tahoe LS with a couple options, what do you say we take this vehicle out for a drive? And I guess since this vehicle does have the optional 22-inch rims, we're about to also find out if it affects your ride quality compared to the 2021 Suburban that didn't have those wheels, which had the 18s with 65 series rubber. But on this dirt road with serious bumps, you don't really feel anything in this car still. So the ride quality is still fantastic. So you're not compromising anything with these 22-inch rims. So one thing you notice, along with the extremely light steering feel, is the very torquey engine. So it doesn't take much gas pedal to get this car really going, which is nice when you're paying $50,000 plus for a V8 SUV. But this car does weigh close to 6,000 pounds. So to be able to still get this vehicle really moving is nice to have. But let's see a little bit of acceleration. Yeah, this thing pulls. Yeah, that was about half throttle, and it gets you up to speed very quickly. It feels noticeably quicker than the Suburban. Noticeably quicker. I understand this is a couple 100 pounds lighter, but I didn't expect it to pick up like that. Again, I drove the Suburban first. Okay, let's see a little bit of how this car can handle in the turns. But yeah, this engine, it pulls very hard off the line. I'm impressed. I can only imagine how much better the 6.2 feels. But this 5.3 liter engine, she moves. And it sounds very good too. It has a nice little deep noise, which is a very fitting characteristic for a large SUV of this size. So through the turns, this vehicle hides its weight incredibly well. So that, like I said, this vehicle is almost 6,000 pounds, and it could pass for a vehicle that was in the low fives. It definitely feels heavy. I'm not gonna make it sound like this vehicle feels like a sports car, but it definitely doesn't feel heavier than the Ford Explorer. The Ford Explorer's driving dynamics are no better than this 2021 Tahoe LS. Okay, let's get onto this road here. It's nice. It definitely gets up to speed rather quickly. And it's quiet. You don't hear virtually any road noise. You don't hear virtually any wind noise. The ride quality is unbelievably soft. You don't feel any bumps in the road. And for a soft ride like this, in a heavy SUV like this, the cornering capability is pretty impressive. So obviously this is not going to be a sporty driving SUV, but for people that are wondering, oh, I don't want to buy the Tahoe, it's too big, it drives like a truck, it really doesn't feel too big. So obviously it's a very large truck. It's a full-size SUV. It's based on the two-door short bed Silverado, of course. So it's going to be a large truck. It's very high off the ground. You get a very commanding view of the road. But you don't feel as big as you are, which is always nice when you're driving a vehicle like this. The hood slopes down, which gives you a very nice view of what's in front of you. The mirrors are very large, which gives you very good visibility of your blind spots. And the mirror, the rear view mirror, I don't know if it's zoomed in, but it makes it feel like the rear hatch windshield is much closer than it really is. So the Ford Explorer, the part of the reason why it feels so big is because the mirror is like, it almost looks like it's zoomed out. So when you're looking back, it looks like it's going on forever. Like it could be a limousine. That's how far back it looks that the rear hatch goes. But with this car, you look out the rearview mirror and you basically just see what's behind you, which is very nice because it makes the car feel a lot smaller than it really is. But all in all, I'm very impressed with this Tahoe. If you have a relatively large family, you need the space, this is a great vehicle to buy because it's extremely comfortable. It's loaded with standard features. And if you're willing to compromise for the lack of leather seats, and if you're willing to just forego the 22-inch optional rims, you can get this truck at an MSRP of under $50,000. And for a full-size 3-row SUV that offers what this vehicle offers, I genuinely don't see how you can beat that, especially considering that the base Expedition doesn't even come with a 3rd row, which to me completely defeats the purpose of a full-size SUV. But all in all, I really enjoyed recording this video for you guys. This just about wraps it up. Definitely recommend looking into the new 2021 Tahoe. This SUV is very underrated and possibly even underpriced. But I really enjoyed recording this video for you guys. Please comment, like, and of course subscribe, and let me know what you would like for me to improve on, because I would really want to give you guys the best all-around content that I can. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.